The next bull sound we're going to talk about is Huffs, Grunts, and Whines, which is personally one of my favorites that I use a lot during September. Huffs, Grunts, and Whines are one of those sounds that can be done two different ways and can be done either to convey excitement or it can be done to convey frustration. And Huffs, Grunts, and Whines a lot of times is a sound that when it's done to convey excitement, it can be done to convey like maybe a younger bull that is with a cow. Think of a teenage boy out on a date for the first time, how he's all just kind of jittery. It's a great way to explain the Huffs, Grunts, and Whines when you're doing the excited. The frustration comes in, and a bull will a lot of times do Huffs, Grunts, and Whines when he's tending a cow. So again, this is one of those sounds that they'll only do during September. It becomes a frustration when he's working this cow, he's tending this cow, and she's just not really giving him much love, not really showing him much attention. She's not doing what he wants. So let's break down the Huffs, Grunts, and Whines, and then we'll talk about how to do them the two different ways. So the Huffs are pretty simple. It's just with your voice. And it doesn't sound like much, but when you do it through the tube, it definitely amplifies it. And that's really what a grunt tube is a grunt tube is a megaphone. It's an amplifier for the sounds that you're doing. How about the grunts? So the grunts, basically, I'm going to do the really light pressure. I'm barely touching the reed, but now I'm going to add my voice. And so the first way we're going to talk about is kind of that excited. So it's it's not real deep, it's not real aggressive. Now, the whine on this, that's where your diaphragm comes into play. And you're not really doing a 3-note or anything like that. It's kind of a short little and that's basically about it. Towards the tail end, I'm dropping my tongue off and adding my voice back in. So the excited, it's light huffs, light grunts, light whine, and it'll sound something like this. There's really not much to it. Again, it's a non-aggressive call. It's more kind of showing excitement, kind of I'm not sure what to do. You know, you're definitely going to portray a younger bull when you do it this way. Now, how to add more emotion into the Huffs, Grunts, and Whines. It's pretty easy. On your Huffs, get a lot deeper. And I'm using, again, the pressure on my diaphragm to force that air. Now, the grunts, instead of, I'm going to, we're adding more aggression, we're adding more emotion into it. On the whine portion, I'm going to add a lot more pressure on my diaphragm to force more air out so it gets louder and crisper. The more aggressive Huffs, Grunts, and Whines will sound like this. Now, Huffs, Grunts, and Whines is, again, a great tool that I use a lot. And later on, when we get into sequences, you'll see how I use the Huffs, Grunts, and Whines in the breeding sequence, which is really my #1 calling sequence that I absolutely love for calling elk. So Huffs, Grunts, and Whines. Let's kind of do them back and forth a little bit. And we're just going to kind of stay on the smaller end. We're going to kind of stay on that excited, I'm not sure, for the first couple. And then the last couple, we'll get into more aggressive. All right, here we go. Huffs, Grunts, and Whines. Let's do them back and forth. All right, let's step up the aggression level on this. Remember, heavier huffs and deeper growls. One more time. Good. All right, so there you have Huffs, Grunts, and Whines. We'll learn how to do a lot of these sounds later on when we get in the sequences and we bring all these together. But right now we're just going through each sound. So that's it for Huffs, Grunts, and Whines. We'll see you on the next bull sound.